Interrogation. The royal physician Anton Sokolov is now in custody of the loyalists. Through Sokolov it will be possible to strike directly at those closest to the royal regent. How cooperative will the most brilliant man in the empire be? He must be swayed or coerced into telling what he knows. I would say swayed. That would be preferable. Although I don't think it very likely.
They set up a cell for Sokolov in the old kennel. Shackles and everything. It'll be a shock, him waking up in the straw and old dog poop. But from what I hear, he's woken up worse places. Guess we all have at that.
Well done, Corvo. Well done. I doubt a dozen soldiers could have done it better. Sokolov's knowledge will enable us to strike at the Lord Regent directly, and ultimately help you get your life back. Soon, we won't have to hide in the shadows. The royal physician is brilliant, but he was a fool to protect the Lord Regent. Sokolov gave us the elixir, the war machine. He could have made us a great nation. Now he pays the price for siding with a tyrant. You have my thanks, sir. If you wish to get some sleep, now is a good time.
Say good night to Emily. No. Sleep. Sleep. Say good night to Emily.
Corvo, wake up! You were making funny faces while you were sleeping. I decided to nap here in your room while Callista was taking her bath. She told me if there's ever trouble, I should always run here.
No, I don't see any reason why not. You can stay here whenever you want.
Callista will come get me when she's done with her bath. Thanks, Corvo. It makes me feel better.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why not. Okay. Okay. She's a creepy little lady.
Attention, Dunwall citizens.
Let's go and talk to Piero first.
Martin, to be High Overseer. Let us all praise their choice. The dance of investiture will take place without delay.
What? He closed shop? Okay. I think they killed him.
What will I say when Sokolov has passed at his funeral? Something like this, perhaps. Sokolov is dead. Gone forever. We were rivals. troubles at the academy, yes. He was jealous of my agile brain and youthful energies. But he's dead now. And what can I say about him? Sokolov, he did improve on some inventions. He did well for himself in his way. He had many admirers among the aristocracy, especially those who lack a solid background in matters of natural philosophy. He was a painter of portraits. They say his work was genius. That remains to be seen. Time will tell.
Yeah, Jason, game sometimes. What is this fucking shit? Okay, let's go. Yeah, he's gone. Where is this guy? Now that they have Sokolov, they killed Piero. That would be sad. Especially because I had the money for a few. Shit. Or maybe he posted that yesterday and today he's there with the rest of them. Pretty sure he would be interested in torturing Sokolov.
I hope Sokolov will cooperate. I'd hope to have him paint my portrait again one day. Just me this time. It's not that I object to holding him hostage for a while, since he's been aiding the Lord Regent, but it's a shame. I always found him rather charming.
Anton Sokolov dined with us at the manor several years ago. He is both brilliant and disgusting. I doubt he has changed much.
Bringing in Sokolov was a stroke of genius. The Lord Regent's got the support of most of the noble families. Who knows what bullying he's done to bring them all in line. We need information to break his hold.
Now let's hope Piero appears.
Royal Physician, I believe you and Corvo knew each other in former days. Unlike you, our friend Corvo knows what loyalty means.
Bah! I am loyal to my inner spirit. You are the one consorting with the most wanted man in the Empire.
It's my belief that Corvo was...
What was that? What is this?
I was trying to make noise. To rattle the cage, as they say. Where the fuck is Piero? Shit. Fucking asshole. Taking a day off. Could he be in the bar? Maybe he's in the freaking bar. Trying to hit on Callista. That's where he is. He's in the bathroom with Callista, of course. Makes perfect sense.
Until then, citizens cross at their own risk.
I fucking knew it. I freaking knew it. Well, at least he's not masturbating.
I was inventing a new kind of lock. The tumblers shaped like snowflakes. The truth is, there is no snowflake lock. I was just, you know, looking through the lock.
Who you watch in the bathtub is not of my concern. Now get out of my way, it's my turn.
I realize, well, everything you're thinking I already realize. I'm a natural philosopher, but that doesn't mean I'm not a gentleman, or I try to be one. If you require my unique services, we can quickly return to my shop.
Okay. Boot King Street Brandy. What does that mean? What does it do? Maybe I can sneak running and not. Yeah, this is clear, restores mana. I'm pretty sure it must be. Well, you can see pretty clearly. She's not that good looking. To be completely truthful. I wonder what happens if I open the planets.
And preserving the timeless beauty of our fair city.
That I won't do. We need to respect her privacy.
What will I say when someone...
This maker thing, we respect her privacy.
Something like this, perhaps. Sokolov is dead. Gone forever. We were rivals at the academy.
I hope Sokolov will cooperate. I'd hope to have him paint my portrait again one day. Just me this time.
Royal physician, I believe you and Corvo knew each other in former days. Unlike you, our friend Corvo knows what loyalty means.
Bah! I am loyal to my inner spirit. You are the one consorting with the most wanted man in the Empire.
It's my belief that Corvo was innocent from the death of the Empress, and the former spy master, or the Lord Regent, as he calls himself, was a ruthless tyrant bent on destroying the city, the heart of the Empire.
You are mistaken if you think there's love between me and our Lord Regent. But whatever you intend to do here, I assure you, I am beyond petty scare tactics.
If I don't scare you, Sokolov, perhaps these rats will. Even if they don't carry plague. I've heard of a swarm of rats stripping a child's body to the bone in half a minute. I've heard worse. How long do you think it'll be before you talk? Before you beg to talk?
Rats? Is that the company you keep now, Andrew?
It's the company you keep that interests us, Sokolov. We know you painted a portrait of the Lord Regent's mistress, the very aristocrat who is funding the military with her fortune. She is the key to the Lord Regent's control over the city, and we must have her name.
Sorry, Admiral. I cannot help you.
What happened? Did you do that?
You're part of this rabble, but I know you have your reasons.
Yes, he does. All we need is the name of the Lord Regent's mistress. It's very simple.
I elect not to tell you. You will have to force the words from me, and I warn you, my willpower is quite legendary.
A true gentleman, Jace, of course. Perhaps I can find a bribe for you, Soko.
curious strategy.
Of which I approve.
Talk to Piero and
I
buy.
could use a drink.
Shit.
What are you thinking, Corvo?
Not the swill to be found
Piero
here,
begging
but the flames.
Sokolov and saying he has always been the better man. Maybe.
It's well known that Sokolov is virtually addicted to a rare liquor called King Street Brandy. The taste is revolting, but I happen to have a bottle. However, I am reluctant to give it to you for Sokolov. It cost me quite a lot. It is very expensive stuff, a blend of rare Pendician spices and a drop of whale oil. Would you care to purchase it?
What the fucking asshole. I'll take the brandy. What an asshole. Milking me for every single copper. But this really speaks poorly of Sokolov. He will betray everything he holds dear for a
I had a
fucking bottle
flask
of
in my
brandy.
studio. Had I known I'd be leaving, I would have grabbed it.
I found a bottle of King Street for you.
King Street Brandy? I didn't know any more existed. It is an extraordinary gift. I see I'm dealing with men of taste. I can tell you this much. She was always referred to as Lady Boyle. I painted her to be sure, but I never saw her face or learned her first name. You see, I painted her from behind. I assure you, she still makes a striking portrait. But I do not know which Boyle she is. I was to be introduced to her at a masked ball in her honor this very night. But I will miss that party, it seems.
A masked ball at the Boyle estate. Tonight? The timing is perfect, Corvo. But the Boyles are wealthy and ruthless, so security will be very tight.
Of course, you already have a mask, don't you, Corvo?
He's right. You will be able to mingle with them once you're on the ground. You'll have to find out which of the Boyle women is connected to the Lord Regent and take her out in whatever way you can devise. We're very close now. If you do this tonight, we'll be able to strike at the Lord Regent himself and put Emily on the throne. May the wind favor you.
I swear I never saw her face. Although I can vouch that her hindquarters are the finest in the city. And perhaps the Empire itself. I assume I will remain in this kennel for the duration of your little protest movement. I don't suppose you have anything to read. Wilmot's History of the Lesser Perversions? You're mistaken if you think I care a fig for the Lord Regent. The man's neurotic. He's the source of most of our trouble, I suspect. You're a far more interesting person than I took you for, Corvo. One day we'll have quite a conversation. I never believed you were the one to strike down the Empress, Corvo. She cared for you greatly. But I suspect you'll be the man to put the next Empress on the throne.
Okay.
I hear you're off to the Boyles' little bash tonight. I have just a tiny favor I'd like to ask you. Could you give this note to Lord Shaw? You'll know him. A rather brusque man wearing a wolf's mask. In fact, he may be looking for me.
Okay.
I knew Sokolov would see reason and tell us what we need to know. He never actually liked the Lord Regent.
I'll be sorry to miss the whole affair. But you know how it is. Top secret missions and all that.
It's rather important. I wouldn't trust anyone but you to deliver the message to Lord Shaw.
Lord
The note is
Shaw.
brief, but Lord Shaw will understand it. Watch yourself among the Lord Regent's noble bootlickers. I do hate to bother you with the matter of this message, but it's of importance, and you'll be able to handle it better than anyone else, I assure you.
Okay. The note says, kill this man, he murdered the
Have
Empress.
you ever been in a sea battle?
Of course.
Did you ever see pirates? And did you sink any?
Of course. Dozens. Oh, yes. But that's not for young girls to hear about.
But I will be Empress, won't I? And then I'll have to sink lots of enemy ships myself. And that's what Empresses do mostly, isn't it?
Of course.
I knew it! I read that some pirate ships have witches aboard that can cause storms and make whales do what they want. Is that true?
Yes. Mostly. Maybe we should be quiet now.
Very well.
A masked ball. You happen to have the most clever mask of them all.
Also, I must recognize all.
Entering a hive of aristocrats, all who live to kiss the Lord Regent's backside. I'd rather swim with the hagfish. Lord Pendleton is an exception, of course. The Boyle family is notorious in high society for their decadence and cruelty. I wish you well.
Well, then this is going to be an exceptional party.
Getting in and out of Boyle Manor won't be trivial. You could apply force or guile. Trust your gut in knowing which is the best approach. That thing with the brandy, simply brilliant.
You're a fucking idiot. Ah, you changed the sound. Maybe I should also tweak the equalizers in my headset to make me sound like I'm piloting some strange artifact. A TIE fighter, maybe. So to this guy.
So, you've already pried into the mind of the great Sokolov. I must admit, with both you and Sokolov, it's rather thrilling to have such notable figures here with us. I wonder if Sokolov's loyalties could be turned in our favor. The High Overseer is supposed to be the most pious man in the Empire, living completely in alignment with the Seven Strictures and guiding the people in the religious faction towards spiritual health. Campbell was a farce. If not for all the blackmail material he accumulated, he'd have never been more than a lower-level initiate among overseers. The Admiral Lord Pendleton and I have already begun using some of what we've learned from Campbell's Black Book, Corvo. You've given us powerful leverage to get the overseers on our side. I can't thank you enough.
But you see the absurd thing? He says he was the High Overseer because he blackmailed everyone below him and above him when he was a low-ranking member. Well, if everyone followed the same strictures, then you couldn't blackmail anyone. Therefore, it is the corruption of the institution itself that gave rise to this particularly corrupt individual. It's not like the rest of them are angels, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to accumulate so much power with hearsay.
I'll speak to you later. I've got to go through Campbell's journal again. It's incredible. A decade of secrets, betrayals, and observations. Now I understand how such a man rose to the top of the Abbey.
Okay. So do I. I think I need to stop for today, sadly. I need to eat because I haven't. I need to sleep. But tomorrow I will be able to play because it's a holiday in my country. So we shall have extra gameplay. So according to the game, I'm 2 missions from killing the Lord Regent. And that should be it. And other than suicides, I haven't died at all. But I still think the suicides are a little crazy. I will check something first. I'm pretty sure one of these powers talked about stopping you from falling. Pretty sure one of them, maybe it was this now. Maybe I was just simply wrong. I remember reading something like that. Maybe I am wrong. So I don't see or foresee any way I'm going to die. Lady Boyle's last party. But let's read before we go away. Pratchett's reminder. Remember that the truth is in the paintings. The way to the truth starts in the crowded streets. Ah, the fucking note said which painting was. I should have read it. Continue until you see the anchored whaling ship. From there, find the slaughterhouse, and the truth will be revealed. Journal entry part 1. I think these were the journals of the worshipper of the outsider. 19th day, month of seeds. What do? She left and took her things back to her family. As if that will help, the plague will get us all. 3rd day, month of nets. I've once offered work on one of the whaling boats. I've been offered, okay. I'll be leaving this place at last. Later, I'll find a place in Thivia to the north. The winters are cold there, no rats, no plague. 28th day of nets. Last day of the month. My fortunes have turned. I found something shiny and old. Looks like a whalebone, which is supposed to be lucky. 6th day, month of rain. My cousin Emil is coming soon, bringing a big bird to roast. I'm going to see if any of the shops are still open. Maybe I can buy apples or some potatoes. 10th day of rain. I put my whalebone carving on a shelf, but I could not see it from some parts of the room, so I made it a little pedestal. It looks nice in the candlelight. 15th day of rain. Sometimes I dream about it. In the dreams it makes sounds like the wind through a broken window. On some nights the wind sounds like a voice. I was supposed to go to the docks to ship out, but I remember too late. It was days ago. Part 3. 18th of rain. My cousin came, but we fought over it. Then I came into the room. He was holding it. I screamed at him, and we fought. My precious! Now I'm filled with remorse. 28th of rain. He's still sitting in the corner across from the candles. He was a thief. Dirty Baggins' 12th month of wind. I wonder how he knew about it. Coming to dinner was a trick. Maybe he told others. 7th day of wind. Barricades in the halls outside. It is safe now. 11th day of wind. The watch came, taking people away. The neighbors. Someone in the building has the rat plague. Gone now. It promises to protect me. Each night it promises in my ear. Alex note. Wait here and stay hidden until I come back. I have one last thing to do on the other side of the drawbridge. I need to deliver all these pearls we've gathered to the boss tonight, so don't be messing around. If something goes wrong with the guards or if anything else happens, use the sink next to the building and speak aloud. The boys will come running to help. Man, it's good I killed them before. It was an ambush. Okay. Overseer's music note. Yesterday an overseer passed in the street near me, playing the strange music from the abbey. Beneath his mask, I could not see his face as he turned to crank on his music box, but I could hear his voice muttering verses from the sacred texts. Fear overcame me, because it is forbidden to carry wound charms or similar such items for luck. The overseers are completely unforgiving on this matter. Gripping mine in my pocket, feeling it warm, I walked with my head down. He was heading toward the royal physician's home, that shaggy Sokolov, and something odd occurred. I could swear the charm in my hand reacted to the overseer's music, growing cold. Some inner vibration seemed to go still. I found out that is perhaps related to this, and will study it so I might understand. Lieutenant Niles' report. As requested, this is a sample of the black market elixir we believe to be coming from one of the abandoned distilleries. No doubt it is inferior to your formula or even to Piero's remedy, but people are desperate. We have not yet been able to identify the additional ingredients. Perhaps you will have better luck. One thing of note, some of the men of the watch claim when pressed to have purchased and used this stuff from time to time, since it's cheaper than either the popular brands. None of them report any illness or complications, so while it may not protect from the plague as well, it doesn't seem harmful. Okay, not from Piero. Cormo, thank you for getting me. Okay. A live weeper, I gave it to a friend in the academy, whatever. I read that in the thing. Lord Pendleton's reward. More bodies matter with my brothers. Yeah, he will try to see them again someday. Note from Lord Pendleton to Lord Cho. This is sealed. Yeah, it's one of those notes that say kill the carrier or something like that. I'm sure. Makes sense. The Golden Cat. There we go. The Isle of Morley. Volume on Morley, Geography and Culture. It is said that the history of Morley is as colorful as quilt made from all the flags ever flown and all the clothes ever worn. The land itself hides from the sun under a layer of clouds, and thick grey moss hangs from the trees, but the spirit of the people who live in Morley dances like the firelight. Among the people, the love of good food and drink is legendary, with stews and roasted meat dishes most often used to fight off the cold and dreariness. The nation has a rich tradition of poets, musicians, and philosophers, even among the poorest folk. Intellectual tomes and bar songs alike were often penned in Morley. A late entry into the empire, the Morley insurrection is still a sore point for many natives, and independence is a proud character trait among the people. River Crust Reproduction by Pietro Joplin. Curiously, the river crust possesses both male and female anatomical features. One can only imagine what this would mean for human society, were it true among our own species. Would we dispense entirely with courting and dances? Imagine the increase in efficiency, as we all dedicated ourselves to dedicated ourselves to important matters in life instead of peering through logs. Natural philosophy, of course, but also industry and law, and when aged members of society needed to be replaced with more vigorous younger members, one could simply engage in the auto-impregnation process and reproduce the desired offspring. Back to the matter at hand, While any given river cross is fully capable of inseminating itself, it must also be noted that the reproduction does frequently occur between individual crusts. This happens when river crusts live in colonies, clustered above and below one another, such as when attached to a wooden dockyard piling. In these cases, as one of the mollusks releases its fluids, they run down another in the colony, resulting in the intermixing of bloodlines. The ancient music. Throughout the natural world, there are ripples that we can barely perceive with our senses, an ancient music permeating everything as a fundamental structural rule. Through it, you can work wonders without violating the natural world or begging favors from unfriendly spirits. Throughout my studies, I have found a 17th note scale derived from this phenomenon, and with the right equipment, those notes allow for astonishing effects. Not the least of this is the ability to calm the turbulence originating in the void, which we attribute to the outsider. Tyrion's Journal. 28th day of wind. I finally found a new place where I should be able to hide and survive for a long time if I stay quiet. The City Watch condemned the building, so its basement should be a safe spot. I have to believe. 28th day of winds. Everything is going as expected. The watch patrols the streets nearby, but they never entered the building. Food is the only problem, but I managed to steal some during the night. Second day of darkness. Someone else found this place and wants to share it. He has a strange amulet made of bone and claims that it protects him from the plague. We'll see. Perhaps we can help each other, but I'm losing confidence in the odds of survival. Fourth day of darkness. Since he arrived, I've been having bad dreams and I don't feel really well. There is more and more rats in the building. Soon, I won't be able to leave this shack even if I want to. I'm starting to think that his amulet is cursed. Well, maybe for you. Call of the Spheres, Volume 2. Okay, let's read. Our child was elated, like a boy of 16 on the eve of the Fugue Feast. When we are back in Greek school, I'll be named Royal Physician, or you will be burned for heresy, third prefect. All depends on what we find when we get there. My master's voice was different, as if in the air of the outer sphere, sad qualities normally absent: uncertainty, weakness, fear. I risked another glance at the monolithic structure in the distance. It was a wonder for our child, a puzzle for Overseer Bryn, and for me a towering monument to emptiness, a magnificent shrine to madness. I do not fear the void, nor I am concerned with the spiritual sanctity of the weak, for I am now his herald, his chosen, having seen his sublime vault, where eternally he feeds upon the substance of the void. Okay, no wonder he was talking about the heresy. Alone in our childhood ship, the floor painted red with life, I draw designs with my fingers and gaze through the portals at the land rising below. There I'll build the first monument to his glory, a rotting wound in the flesh of nature. Patiently I'll build, awaiting your arrival, O great scion of the void. I like that, the void. Certainly has different connotations than hell. I like that, the void. Whelping and training hounds, a trainer's guide. From each litter, there is usually somewhere shy of 4 good pups, but we always drown the runt. Them that remain spend 3 or so months sucking from their mothers before we start them up with the training. It's simple at first, returning sticks and sitting still on command, only pissing outside and the like. But by the 8th month, we got them hunting for scented sack dolls hidden in scrub forest. killing wild pigs on command, and making a man in padded armor down into hanging into his form and whatever. I'm really tired and this is completely stupid, but let's go. At the end of the first year, we graduate the ones that have learned and shoot the ones that haven't. And look at this. Graduating actually means fighting for your life day after day after day. Um, the overseers take them after that, and we never see them again, except once, walking down Clovering Boulevard, an overseer passed me, preaching out the litany of the White Cliff and the evils of witchery. And sure enough, his hound started whimpering and wagging its tail. That's how I knew it was one of mine. Well, up from up. Ooh, okay. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow when we go to Ladies Boyle last party. And let's hope it's a hell of a party. Until then, long live the cold winds. Goodbye.